Hey, you fucking pricks. It's the Lamentable Podcast here with another episode of Lamentable Podcast, episode 24. After our second 3-month hiatus.
Yes. And our second attempt at recording this.
Yes, very true.
Because the mic just decided to not work the first time.
We had mic problems the last episode that we made because I got a new cord for that mic, and at some point in the video, I just decided to start sounding like a voice changer or something. So that was cool. But we're back. Kinda, I guess. I don't know. We'll see how this goes for another return. But, yeah.
Yes. As you can tell, we're obviously in a new place.
Yeah, very true. This is the extra room in my new house that I was supposed to be moving into right after the last episode we posted, but things got mixed around and we had to wait. So here I am in this fancy place with this sick wood paneling and shit, dude.
Yes, very 70s.
Hell yeah. Might as well. But yeah, so I've been doing that, getting everything moved in here and all that fancy stuff, doing some work around here. Did some painting. That was pretty cool. Painted my room. It's on that other end of the house. But
yes, this long boy trailer.
hell yeah, dude. Can't fucking get any longer than this. But, yeah.
Yeah. So, we had to, obviously in the time that we were gone, we couldn't really record because Josh was living with his parents still. So
yeah, I had to stay at their house for a little while. And then the corona broke out.
Yeah, and then,
so that was even better.
Yeah, so our social distancing we're not doing a very good job of right now.
It's fine.
But, you know,
nobody else is actually social distancing.
It's true. Everyone gave up on that like last month, so.
But, hey, what do you know? Maybe we'll find out when the second wave hits. I don't know. Our area isn't really that affected by it. We have a few cases in our town, but it's nothing compared to, like, New York City and shit like that, areas like that with lots of people. I mean, there's definitely a lot of people. And then our governor is like, just wear a mask, you'll be fine. So everyone just wears whatever the fuck they want on their face.
Yeah.
And they're like, so everybody is still out and about doing whatever.
So dumb. Like, I don't know. It was so bad. Like, the World Health Organization botched it so bad, I feel like. At first they were like, only medical masks do anything, so there's no reason to wear other masks. And then they went back on that, and they were like, no, as long as you wear something covering your face, it works. It's like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And the WHO also told the government, they were like, you don't need to shut the borders with China. They're fine. And then they're like, oh, lol. Never mind. China is actually a cesspool of this fucking disease, so. China, well, I don't know. China's debatably a cesspool, but.
I don't know.
We're going to get flamed in the comments now.
I don't know. I haven't really paid too much attention on everything else outside of the U.S., but as far as I know, things are cooling down. But, I mean, that could just be what I'm seeing. You never know what's actually true or not.
Italy got super fucked by it.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I think they're still in there, like, hardcore quarantine right now. The U.S. was like, we'll just half-ass it. That's fine.
Just wear something on your face. Don't worry about it. But with the corona, everything has been shut down. So this summer is pretty much a bust. Which, I mean, it makes sense, obviously, but it's still shitty. Not a damn thing is happening. No concerts, no festivals. Probably won't even be able to go see a fucking movie or anything.
Yeah, not for a couple months, probably.
But, 2020 is pretty much gone. There's no 2020 now.
Yeah, we sacrificed 2020 to the corona gods.
But, yeah, because last year, me and Kyle went to the Louder Than Life Festival in Kentucky, and I wanted to go again this year because it was going to be even better. It was going to be 4 days instead of 3. and then Metallica canceled, and then they uncanceled, but they were just going to play once, which wasn't a big deal. I mean, Metallica one time, whatever. And then they held out for a little while. They were like, oh, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know the laws and how it's all going to work. And then they were like, yeah, fuck it. We're canceling. We can't afford to fucking sit here and wait to find out and then have them at the last second tell us we can't do it after we spent all this money on bands and stuff. So, I mean, I guess it makes sense, but it still sucks. I was looking forward to it.
Yeah. And every sport canceled, basically.
Yeah. They fully canceled NASCAR for the last, 2 months.
Yeah, but NASCAR's coming back next weekend.
And then...
mid-May.
Yeah. That's pretty cool, though. At least
there's not going to be fans or anything, but they're going to be the only, net sport in the U.S. that's doing anything right now.
They did a UFC fight, 2 nights ago, apparently. I didn't know about it. I saw something about it this morning.
Yeah.
Apparently they did it in Florida. There was a UFC fight.
Yeah.
I didn't see if there was any, people there or not. I don't know.
Probably not, but...
But we're slowly moving back. Honestly, faster than I thought, but it could be a bad thing as well.
Yeah.
So who knows? The NFL seems like they're still rolling as normal. They have they released a schedule last week or the week before, and they were all the dates and stuff are set, so I don't think they're going to be pushing that back. But 10-1 says you're not going to be able to even go to the games or anything.
Yeah, probably not. At least not till playoff time.
It's going to suck so much.
You know damn well they're going to make sure the fucking Super Bowl has people at it, though. They can't have the Super Bowl with no people. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, something will happen. Whether they let people in at half amount or whatever. But tickets are going to be so fucking expensive. Oh, you haven't been to an NFL game in 6 months of the season? So that means when you want to go, tickets are going to be $600. Buy nosebleed tickets for $500.
Yeah, well, everyone's going to buy them up right away, and then
yeah,
it's going to be up to those people to sell them or whatever.
Because you can buy them on SeatGeek and shit right now. I saw people, the Las Vegas game, because apparently that stadium's going to be done. Mm-hmm. The tickets for the Bills in Las Vegas game are $1,200 lowest.
I mean, that's just because it's a new stadium in a big city.
It's going to be ridiculous. People are going to buy the fuck out of them, too. They don't give a fuck. It must be nice to have a ton of indisposable money.
Speaking of the Bills in Las Vegas, some guy I was listening to One Bills Live, which is the local sports radio channels
WGR 550 or whatever it is.
And it's got Steve Tasker and John Murphy, the Bills play-by-play announcer. And they're the two guys, and they just do a radio show every day. And some guy called in. He was like, so the NFL, the people that call in on WGR, some of them are okay, but some of them are just completely retarded.
Yeah, a lot of them were fucking nuts.
He was basically Steve Tasker was saying yeah, there might not be people at the game, so be careful. If you buy tickets, just know that you might have to get a refund or whatever. You might not be allowed to go. So some guy calls in. He's like, well, I made plans to go to the Las Vegas game, and I need to know if I could take off work and buy the tickets and all this and yada, 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 to go. And he's like, but if the NFL cancels it, what am I supposed to do? And he's like, well, they're giving you a fair warning that, this game might not happen or might be postponed. And he's like, yeah, so? That's the NFL's fault, not mine. What am I supposed to do? And it's what? They're telling you you're being warned. They're doing everything they can. They're warning you, giving you full the full disclosure that something might happen and it might not go on at the same time or with people there. So buy tickets and make plans at your own risk. But that guy was like, no, it's the NFL's fault. Okay. Sure.
I mean, at that point, there's not even anything the NFL can do because they have to follow the rules of the government as well.
Yeah, the NFL has to follow the rules. That's what I'm saying. They're giving you fair warning. Hey, you can buy tickets and you can make plans, but we're not guaranteeing that the game is going to go on when the schedule was originally released. And it's not like this is anything new for coronavirus anyway, because games can be flexed at any time, any week anyway.
It happens a lot.
So I don't know why people are flipping out, but
Like last year, the Bills versus Steelers was flexed to the fucking night.
yeah.
They were flexed to prime time.
Yeah, they were flexed to the Sunday night game.
That didn't have any kind of... All the people that had plans of going there at fucking 1 o'clock were now going at fucking 8 o'clock. So, I mean, it's not anything that is out of the ordinary anyways. I don't know. People are dumb.
Yeah, people are dumb. I am kind of surprised. I mean, the NFL, they kind of made it seem like, well, they weren't sure about how September would be, so a lot of people thought they would make all the non-conference games the first 4 games of the season, but they didn't do that. They just released a normal schedule.
Yeah.
And decided to roll with it. Although they did do some clever things, like all the teams that play each other week 2 have the same bye.
Oh,
so
really?
that they can, if that week gets canceled, they can make it up the bye week.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure it'll be okay. I'm sure they'll do like, every NFL player has to be tested before the season starts.
They're definitely going to do that.
And then if any of them, I feel like if a majority of not a majority, obviously probably, but of like a decent amount of people in the teams have it, they're probably gonna then they'll probably like cancel something or stop it or postpone some of the games. I don't know. It'll be a clusterfuck probably.
Yeah, that's what I mean. NASCAR, I think, is testing a lot of like the like people that are showing up. Like if you're supposed to be going to the track, you have to be tested and all that stuff. So I don't know what if anyone ends up testing positive for it. I don't know what they're gonna do. Make them quarantine, I guess. But yeah, and they released that if like teams aren't supposed to celebrate with each other, they're not allowed to high five or anything, and if they get caught on camera doing it, they'll get in trouble. It's like, come on.
If they're tested, then it shouldn't matter.
Yeah. But yeah, and all the crews have to wear masks, but the masks are allowed to have sponsor logos on them. So very NASCAR of them to do that.
I think it's a pretty good meme. Just have random sponsors on their shit.
Their personal protective equipment. Not that they don't already have masks, or not masks, but sponsors on their fucking fire suits and shit, which is basically the same thing.
I wonder if the mask thing will become like a normal thing from now on. Like, yeah. And even in like general public. Like I bet you even when this ends, people will constantly be wearing masks.
That's kind of how it was in like China anyway. People were already like that. They would wear masks and shit just to go out anyway before there was even a pandemic.
Yeah. Well, that not getting sick and that and all the fucking pollution and shit pollution,
too. But
yeah, I feel like that'll be
that might become popular in the U.S. now. Fuck that. I'm not doing that. But
it's gonna be shitty. I feel like because I work at a cell phone store, I come in contact with people like all the time, so I feel like I might get like made to wear like certain working conditions. You're gonna have to wear them.
Yeah, like people that deal with a lot of people.
Like retail and shit like that will always be wearing masks now. Which it could be a thing, but especially once it ends, it'll constantly be talks of like second wave and it coming back and shit like that, which probably would happen. It makes sense because we're gonna all fucking release everybody and like open everything back up, and then that one person still has it and they're like, well, I'm going too. Or they just don't know they have it. But
the problem with I don't know, they're worried that you can get it once and then you might end up getting a second time and it might be worse than the first time you get it, and there's a lot of weird shit. So a lot of people, like the California governor is making like a real big deal about it, like not allowing big gatherings until there's a vaccine, which is literally like a year and a half away from now. Yeah. Which is going to be rough for those people.
Yeah, I heard the California governor is being a real prick about everything. And then they I don't know, I watch Joe Rogan and he still does podcasts. But he has like an on-site doctor that tests people that come when they come in, which is fucking insane. I'm assuming so because he always says that he tests people before they come in. So I don't know if he like sends them to a doctor or if he has like one on site. But he was talking about how the governor is like, they released a statement saying that some things are back open Like you can do some things, but they're like really micromanaging it. Like you can play golf, but only in groups of 2 and like without, you can't use carts.
Yeah, I mean, that's how
like
it is.
that.
It's like that in New York, too. People
Like-
have been golfing here.
I feel like New York is the most fucked. It's got the most cases, the most deaths, but it's all because of New York City.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, though, because New York City is like the biggest
Yeah.
port for, European people to come into the U.S. So, of course, there's going to be a lot of people that get it.
And
And, of course, California has a lot, too, because it's the main port for people coming from Asia. So, I mean, it's just how it is. It's not a surprise that those are the 2 most affected places.
yeah. And then when it first started, everyone was like, there was like the split. It was like, oh, this is no big deal. And then there was like, oh my God, we're all going to die. And then like nobody listened to anything. So it didn't matter at all. Like that's why it got so bad. Because everyone, I mean, apparently the U.S. was like behind on catching it. But people were like, don't go on planes and don't fly home and shit like that. And they're like, oh, I'm going to go on planes and fly home.
They're like, cheap tickets to Italy. Sick.
$44 round trip to Italy. Wow, very cool. But like, I don't know. I'm hoping it blows over with no crazy shit. Like the world doesn't fucking end. But I don't know.
Well, I don't know. My running theory is that a lot of people had it before we took this, like it was a big deal anyway. Because, I mean, obviously it started in 2019, hence the name, COVID-19. So who's to say that someone from China didn't come to America and then give a bunch of Americans it, and then all this, that, and the other thing without them realizing it.
Yeah, and it took them fucking...
And then we didn't really close anything down until March anyway, so there was at least 3 months of it being unchecked.
Mm-hmm.
So I assume there was a lot of people that had it without ever realizing, or at least realizing now maybe.
Yeah,
like I think I had it back in January. I'm pretty sure I had it.
I mean, people... It's hard because it came around flu season as well.
Yeah.
So it's like
And
ridiculous. But
yeah, it's very similar to the flu. So
that and like people can like carry it
yeah,
and not get any kind of symptoms or anything and be fine. I don't know. If it comes back for a second wave, though, we're all going to be pretty fucked probably. Mm-hmm. Especially if it's like before they come out with a vaccine for it, which they might never even fucking do. Because there's never been a vaccine for any other kinds of the coronavirus that happened before. The ones that weren't fucking pandemic causing. I don't know.
Well, this is all a ruse by the government so they can put trackers in us with the vaccine that they make mandatory. So, of course, this was their ploy all along.
Yeah, the government's gang stalking
Yeah, the
us.
government's gang stalking us. That Reddit rabbit hole that I went down.
Yeah, Kyle came over one day and he told me about this subreddit that he found called gang stalking. And it's about like, oh, he was explaining to me that it was about like all these people that think that everything around them is set up on purpose to like annoy them and ruin their lives and shit.
Yeah. Like these people believe that the government are paying people to like harass them. And by harassing, they mean drive by them with their brights on and wear blue shirts. So you see a lot of people wearing blue shirts. It's like, what?
Yeah, so if you see someone wearing a blue shirt near you, just know they're not real. They're
Like,
paid by
it's-
the government.
It's literally people with just paranoid delusions. They all have mental health issues, but they don't want to believe that because they think that the fucking psychologists and shit are in on it. So they don't want to go to a doctor and tell them about it.
Yeah, they think the doctors are going to tell them that they're crazy, so they
don't
don't
want to
figure it out.
What a lot of them said is if you go to a doctor and get drugs for it, that'll label you as crazy so they can up the gang stalking and make it worse. It's like, yes, very cool. Because the government really wants to, or whoever, a lot of people believe it's a government or a religion or like a cult doing it. A lot of people have different theories for it, which is kind of interesting that so many people would be affected by it and not one cause be you know.
No one would know anything about it either.
Yeah.
Like, the way I look at it, like when he was explaining to me, I was thinking like, there's so many fucking people in the world. If the government, not even in the world, in the U.S. alone, there's a fuck ton of people. If the government wanted to keep track of somebody, they wouldn't just pay random people to fucking affect like thousands and thousands of people. Like that, they would not fucking do that. They don't give a shit about you.
Yeah, literally.
You're just some person that pays them money.
That's what a lot of the people believe, that because they're unimportant, that's why they're affected by it. But it's like, I don't know, it just doesn't make sense. Because like, why they're trying to create AI? It's like, what? How does fucking harassing you and making you go crazy help them create AI for a war machine or whatever they were talking about? Like, I don't know. Gangstalking, definitely an interesting subreddit.
I looked at it and I couldn't read it for more than like 2 minutes.
Like, half the posts there are literally incoherent to read because these people are like so mentally ill that it's just they can't communicate correctly. Like, it's so weird to read. Like, it's correct grammar and everything, but it just doesn't make sense when the words are put together. I don't know. It's just weird as fuck. So.
And then the other half of the posts are people coming in because like one of their posts will get on like popular or something, and people will come in and be like, "You guys are fucking nuts. You have to get help." And they're like, "You're part of it.
Yeah, you're one of them. You're doing it." It's like, okay.
You're trying to convince us. It's like, okay, well, you go on and continue living that way and think that everyone around you is a monster. Or we're wrong, and that's actually what's happening. And
yeah, who fucking knows?
We're
Maybe
gonna get gangstalked.
Yeah,
now
the whoever's running the actual gangstalking organization is gonna see this, and they're gonna start fucking going after us now.
We're gonna be high priority targets.
Yeah,
people are gonna be honking every day by our house. If where I live, if there was actually people like going by and honking every day, I'd be like, okay, what the fuck's going on?
I mean, yeah. Like around here, because at your old house, people would honk all the time, but that was because it's a busy...
I lived on an intersection.
Literally the busiest road in this town.
I would always get so annoyed, too. I'd be like, what the fuck? People are just honking constantly. But, I mean, there's a stoplight right there, and it's an intersection, so people are dumb when they're driving, so it makes sense. But here, I live in a fucking, like, a dead-end circle, so if people were going by my house every day and honking, I'd be like, okay, what the fuck are you guys doing? And then I'd start posting on gangstalking. I'm like, oh my god, there's these people fucking honking every day. And it wouldn't even make sense why they're here.
Yeah, fun stuff. If you wanna lower your mental IQ and make yourself slightly more of a chance of you going crazy, go read that.
Yeah. If you're prone to paranoia, go ahead and read that and live your best life.
I have. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'll turn into one of them. We'll find out.
The Xboxes are controlling our minds.
Yeah.
Gaming consoles are used to distract us from what's really going on.
Yeah, like some of the people in there, like the mundane weird shit. Like it's weird enough. Like, okay, people are harassing you and stalking you and like honking and shit. That's one thing. But these people believe that there's microwaves. 5G towers are causing microwaves to go in your brain and make you think thoughts that aren't yours to make you go crazy. It's like, no, that's just called being mentally delusional. That's not.
Yeah, like people that everyone that's like, oh, how coincidental is it that they put up 5G and now all of a sudden there's a pandemic going on?
Yeah,
it's like, yes, because radio waves cause viruses.
Like,
very cool.
Like take your cell phone and go in a fucking tunnel with it. You're not even gonna get a signal in there. So what makes you think that the 5G tower miles away from you is very accurately sending a fucking radio wave only to your head to make you think a very specific thought? It just doesn't work. Like, the scale of those things is just not possible.
Makes sense.
Like,
to me.
maybe they could like set up a fucking cell phone tower and have everybody in the area think the same thought, but they couldn't just affect one person. There's no way.
Yeah, they're affecting you. Oh, do you hear the beeping?
Yeah.
They're coming after us already. Oh, it's just a car alarm. But yeah, like even like group manipulation with like cell phone towers doesn't even seem feasible at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's that fucking movie? The Kingsman, where they did that?
Oh, yeah.
I think
Yeah,
with like a device,
The first one, I think it
and
was.
everyone in the church was like trying to kill the one guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even think something like that could actually happen. Like, I guess maybe it could like make you like sleepy or something because like radio waves or something, but I don't know about like controlling what you do and like stuff like that. I don't know how radio waves and shit work, so I couldn't even tell you any kind of shit like that how it would work, but I don't know.
But yeah.
Any kind of inconvenience is gang stalking, just so you know. So like you stub your toe on a fucking coffee table, it's out on
It's
purpose.
it's because they inserted the thought in your head to hit your foot on the table and stub your toe.
If you get killed in Call of Duty, nope.
Yeah.
It's gang stalking.
Yeah, like the one guy was like, I was playing Call of Duty and these people, he was like 8 of the 10 people on the other team were all gang stalking me and going after me, just specifically me. It's like, oh, I bet they were. And then he was like, yeah, and then I would aim down the sights at someone, and the second I was gonna press the trigger to shoot, my gun would like jolt up in the air so I'd miss. It's like, yes.
So he has a broken controller.
Yes.
Has stick adrift.
That happens all the time. I'm sure they do that. Yeah.
They came into your house and broke your controller for you, so you couldn't. You only when you were shooting. They programmed it to where when you were going to shoot, it would move.
Like, I feel bad for these people because they're obviously like mentally ill, but it's just like, I don't know. They just have that subreddit where you're not where you have to believe what they believe, and if you don't, you're one of them. It's just, I don't know.
That's probably just like one example. There's probably a fuck ton of subreddits like that.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's a bunch of subreddits that are like that.
There's probably a ton of them.
I'm sure there's a billion like Facebook groups that are like that too.
I would say
any internet forum like that, you can.
Speaking of Facebook groups, my dad called me the other day, and he was like, "Oh, I joined this Facebook group. You should join. I sent you an invite, whatever." So I join it, and it's like this thing where everybody in like my general county, they like drop bourbon and whiskey off to you. So apparently women do it. I didn't know anything about this. I'm not like in Facebook groups or anything. I don't know, but apparently like women do it with wine. So all the guys were like, "Oh, we're tired of women getting wine and stuff, so we're gonna do our own with whiskey." Well, I mean, it's it's kind of cool, but you have to. They have like posts with your address in them. Like they say like, because we live in Lockport, so there's one in Lockport, and all the other towns. There's like a bulk post, like the main post, and you comment your address underneath your town, and people will drop them off. I put my address there because I mean, whatever. It seems harmless enough, but I'm thinking like someone could just be like, "Ah, yes, thank you."
Well, yeah, it is kind of sketchy to just post your fucking address on Facebook like that.
Yeah, so like anybody could just go on there and be like, "Hey, very cool. I am harmless man. I want to get free whiskey," and then they just accept you into the group, and then you're like, "Ah, you look at all these people's houses. Nice, very cool." Which I mean, it probably won't happen. But it could, like putting your actual address on social media like that. I don't know, but I don't know. It seems harmless enough, but a lot of people like to turn good things into shit things. People like to ruin stuff, so I'm sure it'll probably something bad will happen eventually.
A bad seed that wants to fucking ruin everything, take advantage of people just trying to be nice.
It's definitely a cool thing. Like, I like the idea of it. It's very cool. Like, you just comment your address and then they call them the bourbon bandits. A bourbon bandit will stop by your house and drop off a a little brown paper bag with a bandit painted on it with a bottle of whiskey in it. And it's pretty cool. I mean, a lot of people are in it now. Like there's a very cool. So apparently the camera turned off. I'm going to look at that. I'm just going to keep it running. I don't really care.
We can keep this going. We can just cut it out, but I don't know why the camera does that.
It's like you've been recording for too long, please. We're going to turn off by ourselves now. Anyways, like a lot of people are doing it. Like there's like posts like every couple of minutes of people getting stuff dropped off to them. So I mean it's definitely doing its job of its idea. That didn't make any sense, but I mean people get hit like 3 or 4 times. My dad got some whiskey. My grandpa just joined, apparently. I saw him commenting on there, so that's pretty cool. So, I mean, as long as it stays relatively harmless like that, it should be okay. But hopefully nobody's stupid and is like, oh, yes, this person. But, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it could be bad if you see, like your grandpa or whatever. If they see, like, your grandpa, they're like, oh, this frail old man living by himself. There's his address. Gonna go break in.
My grandpa wouldn't have that issue. My grandpa's definitely not a frail old man.
Well, your grandpa would whip out a fucking shotgun and shoot him, so...
Hell yeah, he would.
Some people aren't that...
Well, yeah, I know what you mean. Like, some people are actually, like, old. Yeah, I guess that's a good point. But, I mean, it's only in this general area. It shouldn't be too bad. Plus, I'm sure if it's like some random page, like some guy with like a obviously fake name and like no post or anything was trying to get in, they probably would be like, you gotta trust their judgment of accepting people.
Like that, a couple months ago, there was that thing going around, and it would be like, oh, answer these questions about yourself. But all the questions were just like common questions that like websites use for your like. When they ask you questions when you set up your account.
Oh, like security questions?
Yeah, like security questions. So it's like, what is the street you grew up on? And what school did you go to? And what's your mother's maiden name? It's like,
They probably got tons of people to still answer them.
I'm sure a fuck ton of people did it.
Oh, excuse me.
I know I saw a couple posts about people like warning people about it. It's like, these are obvious, like common, like security questions when you set up like website accounts.
Oh,
don't just answer them and tell people them.
I'm assuming that's what they were trying to do is get people like security questions and stuff. The a couple months ago, because you know when you're you sign into a computer on like YouTube or Gmail or whatever, it sends a thing to your phone saying, "Did you do this?" Mm-hmm. A couple months ago, I was getting a bunch of those like all the time, and I obviously wasn't trying to sign into a computer and stuff, so I thought someone was trying to like hack into my Gmail. Which obviously they couldn't because they had to do this, what do they call it? Second, something like
verification, whatever it is.
And then I kept getting emails for my Epic account for Fortnite. It's like someone was trying to get into my Fortnite account. So, I mean, I don't have it. I haven't played that game in months. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't even understand how they're like finding me and my account. But I don't even have anything on my account. Like, my credit card's not, like, fucking attached to it or anything. So why would they want to be getting into my fucking Fortnite account?
Just because they can try.
But, yeah, so that's some weird shit that
They're
was
like,
happening.
maybe he bought the Travis Scott skin. I want to use that.
I stopped playing well before that. I stopped playing, like, Season 3. I don't even know. I'm pretty sure they just had, like, a Season X or something, which is, like, Season 10 or something like that.
I have no idea.
I still have
that. I was never into Fortnite.
They're like on my Instagram thing, I think, still. But yeah, they're gonna take my sick fucking default skin, bro. What am I gonna do without that? But I don't know. That was strange because it would happen like a lot. I would press no and it would happen again, like over and over again. And I'm like, bro, why? Why are you trying to get into my shit? Like, there's nothing, like, important attached to my accounts or anything, so I don't understand why. Like, I would understand if, like, my debit card and credit card were, like, attached to shit, but, like, nothing's attached to anything. I think my DoorDash account has my card on file, but other than that, there's nothing else connected to anything. Like, I always put my card in on Xbox. I always put my card in when I'm ordering stuff online and stuff. So they're not gaining anything from having my fucking email account. But whatever. It hasn't happened in a long time now, so.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of years ago, I remember someone was like trying to get in my Gmail, and they were from like India, and I'm like, what do you even? First of all, where do you even find my account? Second of all, yeah, like, what do you want with it? There's nothing on it.
It's like, ooh, yes, read my junk mail, please. That's pretty much all I fucking get. Promotional fucking emails. Save 50% off on your window installation. It's like, yes, thank you. Or like McDonald's coupons or something.
Yeah.
Fucking just stupid junk shit they send to you. Websites you went on or whatever when you were fucking like 14.
Yeah. Yeah, it was my first YouTube or email account, which was connected to my YouTube, but like, so fucking what? There's nothing on there. It's literally all just spam and shit because I was a stupid kid and entered the fucking email into everything.
It's like, whoa, I want to win a free iPod Touch.
Yeah.
Wow, I'll put my email in there. But I mean, that, I guess. I don't know. Well, yeah. I hope that they open shit back up. At least sports. At least you can watch sports on TV. I'm sure, I guarantee you, even if they don't open stadiums for people to come in, there's definitely going to be tailgating.
Probably.
For sure.
They'll probably try to kick people out, but...
Like, the whole fucking street will still be filled with cars and shit.
But, like... And, I mean, I don't know how it is. In a lot of places, the only places to tailgate are on the actual...
Yeah, parking.
Like, in the actual parking lots, but... At least in Buffalo, Orchard Park, you can fucking... People will just open up their lawn and are like, hey, you can park here.
I guarantee you that happens in Buffalo for sure. I'm sure it'll happen in other places too, but that might cause an issue in itself. Like, oh, beware of unofficial tailgating. It's like, okay, I will. Chugs 4 Rolling Rocks.
But yeah. The Bills got a lot of primetime games this year.
They have 4.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome. Hopefully we actually win some of them at least. I don't know. I mean, our primetime games are against pretty fucking rough teams.
They play Kansas City on Thursday in Buffalo, I believe.
Yeah, and it's
their first one, and then they have
the 49ers and another Steelers one.
Yeah, they play the Steelers in Buffalo on Sunday, and then they play the 49ers and they play the Patriots on Monday night, but those are both away games.
It's going to be sick as fuck, though. The Bills are getting a lot more respect for whatever reason. I mean, they did good last year, obviously.
They did good for the first time.
But, like, their
20
draft,
years.
they're saying, like, their draft was super lit, which, it was
Their
pretty
draft
decent.
was good, I think.
It was pretty decent for sure. I don't know. I just get that bad feeling like, oh, we did really good last year, so now it's another 8-8 season for us.
They might regress. Like I talked about this before, how the Bears did, like, had a 12-win season or whatever, and then the year after, Mitch Trubisky was like, lol, I'm retarded. And now he's being replaced by Nick fucking Foles.
There was a fuck ton of crazy trades and shit this year. Like, over the offseason, like, a bunch of, like, Tom Brady and fucking...
Yeah, Tom Brady going to the
Rob
fucking...
Gronkowski. Fucking... Computer. Or not computer, camera.
It's gonna be a bitch to sync now because of that shit. Yeah. So you didn't fucking clap.
It's fine. Whatever. It says the card's full, so I guess we're not doing a video podcast. That's cool. I don't know. How far are we in right now anyways? We could probably end it here anyways. Alright, well...
That's shitty.
Since the fucking camera is apparently full, even though it said it had like 20 hours of recording on it, we're going to end it here. So thank you for listening and watching half of the podcast.
Whatever. This hopefully will tide you over until we can do a full one again.
Yeah, pretty much. So, yeah, follow us. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram. I think we have a Twitter, but I don't use it, so fuck Twitter.
You're the social media guy.
Yeah, so follow us on all those. And thanks for watching.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, don't forget to I don't know. Do you have a good one?
Don't forget to wear your masks and be a good social distancer.